Yeah, I'm ready when you're Steve.
Easy people, welcome back to my channel, Big Steve MCFC. This is my show. We are the South Stand. We are the South Stand. We are the South Stand. I can't wait 3 or 4 weeks to be back in the South Stand and singing as usual. Today is my good friend Daps. He's with me again. He's not wearing pink tracksuits. He's not wearing sky blue tracksuits.
I'm not. I haven't worn neither for a while.
He's not wearing yellow banana suits or Captain Custard hats. He's looking like Tony Pulis. He's bought a club shop today. How you doing, mate? All right?
Yeah, not bad. You know, it's so hot. I can't wear tracksuits. It's just shorts always.
Don't be telling me it's hot. You're in London, yeah, it's hot. In Manchester, it's raining, mate. It's raining here again. Yeah, it's raining. You put your live on and go, it's a beautiful day, people. And I think, shut up, because it's pissing down here.
Is it really?
All the time, man. Listen,
no, I know that it rains in Manchester. I know, but it's really...
No, it does. It rains a lot, mate. It rains a lot. So what have you been up to? Just tell everyone what you've been up to. I've seen that you've been pushing your channel, Never a Foul. Yeah. I've seen you've been doing Love Island watch-alongs and all that shit. So let the people know what you've been doing, man.
You know what it is, Steve? It's the season ended, and it was like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And like, I think I had probably week or 2 week period of sulking about things and about football, and then realized, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's just jump on and talk. I realized the transfer rumors, they're going to start flying around. Actually, it was my first show when I started getting back on pushing Never a Foul was with you.
Yeah.
When Haaland, and I was like, I thought, you know what? And I don't know if you were watching the stream the other day. I spoke about you, and I said, the one time I see the big kid in Steve is Haaland. If you want to bring the big kid out, Steve, it's Haaland. It's the only time. Yeah, it's like, honestly, like you get so excited about it. So I thought, you know what? I think it was probably about midday. I was like, I'm going to do a live. Let me just message Steve because he does like talking about Haaland. You were like, yeah, I'm on. And then from there, I just thought, right, this is it. I need to use this for momentum and just keep going with streams. Talking about me and Matisse, so the Love Island watch along we do. I said to him the other day, I said, you know what? I'm starting to look forward to these. And he goes, yeah, me too. He said, because it's the only time we're not having to recycle the same conversation over and over and over
I get
again.
that.
We're actually talking. That. It is nice though, this transfer window, that we're not being thrown about too much though.
Yeah.
Like,
no, we're not. We're doing our business early.
Yeah.
We're doing it quite quietly. We're not getting dragged into sagas and people wanting to leave and throwing the toys out the pram. We're basically doing our business proper. But yeah, where I'm going to start is...
well, no, I need to ask you first, Steve. How's your summer going?
No, my summer's going okay. I took a back seat from things. I left the Big Six show, which, you know, wasn't easy to do. Fantastic show. Fantastic lads. Just been focusing on my work life and spending a bit of time with the kids. Done a little bit of fishing. Yeah, I'm all right. I feel great. I feel good. I'm enjoying the summer, watching City do good business, and I'm starting to get that buzz again now. I'm starting to creep back into it and get tempted out of my retirement to do some shows like this. But people are always asking me, so I'm trying to keep my hand in a little bit. You know what I mean?
You know what? I remember that was the thing when you were deciding about whether you were going to kind of knock it on the head or not. I know how hard it was for you, and I could tell, and I always knew you don't want to, but you know that you need to.
Yeah, I have to.
I mean,
the love I get from the City fans is unbelievable. You've seen it yourself.
Not just the City fans,
I know, but the City fans love me, and I'm just a fan. So, you know, I try and defend the club the best I can. I try and stick up for them, give people positive thoughts, not drag people down negative holes and start setting up agendas. I'm just real, you know. If you like my opinion, then they watch my show. If you don't like my opinion, don't watch my show. That is simple as that. It is what it is. But listen, I want to talk about Jesus. I woke up this morning. I had my Weetabix. I made myself a cup of tea. I went in the living room, I turned Sky Sports News on, and there's Gabriel Jesus stood on the top of the Emirates Stadium like the Christ Redeemer in an Arsenal shirt, and it really pissed me off.
Well,
I knew it was going to happen. I knew this day was going to come. And then I went on YouTube and typed in Erling Haaland's Bundesliga goals, watched his goals again, and Gabriel Jesus was a long, distant memory for me. So that's how I got over it this morning.
You know what? It's funny because I was walking back from dropping my daughter off, went on Instagram, and I saw you post it. I thought, oh, he's getting sentimental here. And then it's kind of, I was an advocate of Jesus the whole time at City. And
Tetley tea. I like Tetley tea.
For me, there was a kind of nice thing of him going this summer, right? In that, firstly, where the club is, right? But secondly, where his career at City ended, and it ended on a high, because it's like this season, I think a lot of City fans that maybe didn't appreciate him realised just how important he is, and just like,
I agree.
And even when people were saying about, when I've been defending Arsenal on a lot of streams I've been on, like where it's Arsenal fans and others, and they're trying to go at Jesus going, he wasn't even a start for City. I was like, well, firstly, tell me a start for City, because you can probably only name 4. Like the way City play, we rotate a lot. It's even to the point where sometimes we're like, Bernardo Silva might not start. You can't tell me who his starter is. Jesus has played a lot of games this season. He had injury, but apart from that, he played a lot of games. And pivotally, at the end of the season, he played a hell of a lot of games. So he was very important to City. Never moaned. And listen, for a young Brazilian lad to come to this country and have to face rotation, and you never hear a word out of him. For me, of Rafinha, Jesus, and Richarlison, which all 3 are probably pushing for moves to cement their place on the plane, I think by far and away Jesus is the best of the 3 in pretty much everything. But I think the other 2 are pushing for moves to move to better clubs. Jesus has taken what I would call a sideward step. He's moved to a lesser club at the moment, but this could be a good step for his career, because if like many young Brazilian, he does want to end up playing at maybe Real Madrid. I don't feel like if he carried on at City, he would have got that move. If he goes to Arsenal and plays through the middle and does score goals, he might be able to get it. So I think it's kind of the right move for him. And for us, we've got pretty good money for a guy with a year left on his contract. And I think he's gone away with all of us saying, the only thing I think we're all saying is Arsenal, that fan base, don't do what you do on so many players to him.
No, that's what I was going to touch on with him. To be honest, Gabriel Jesus came in. He came in as a young player from Brazil. He was a natural upgrade from Kelechi Iheanacho. A lot of Man City fans liked Kelechi, but once we saw Jesus come in, we realised that Kelechi needed to go and Jesus was the man. Jesus came in with a lot of expectation. A lot of people were comparing him to Aguero, said he was going to outscore Aguero, he was going to replace Aguero. It became pretty evident early on that he was never going to be that level. But one thing Gabriel Jesus has done, he's come in, he's had 5 tremendous years. He's never let the Man City fans down. He's always played for the badge. He's played on the left wing, the right wing, the false 9, up front, wherever Gabriel Jesus has needed to play, he's played. His work rate, he's the way he took to Manchester for a Brazilian kid living in Manchester must be hard. And he embraced the City. But what this is just another upgrade. This is another Kelechi Iheanacho moment. He's now Kelechi Iheanacho, and we've upgraded him with Haaland. So it's no disrespect to Jesus. It's a process that Manchester City do regular, and he's gone as far as he can for us. And now we've upgraded, and he's going to go to Arsenal. And he's going to be the main man. They need a number 9. They've probably sold him the dream. Arteta's probably told him, you're the important man. You're our number 9. You're the man for us. And listen, we've got fantastic money for him. We've got absolutely fantastic money for him. And the reason we got good money for him is A, he's a good boy. He's not thrown the toys out of his pram and decided he wants to cause a stink. And B, we're in a position of power now. We're Manchester City Football Club. We are the champions, and we don't have to sell nobody. So Gabriel Jesus, if you want him, pay the dough. So they've came in, they've paid the dough. And I wish him all the luck in the world, obviously not against City. But at the end of the day, for me, I think The timing is right. I think it's time to freshen it up. And then you see him in the Arsenal shirt, you're a bit sad as a City fan. You don't want to see anyone in red. Don't want anyone wearing that.
The red just doesn't help it, does it?
No, exactly. But then when you look at Erling Haaland with his beautiful blonde hair, and that City shirt on with a big badge, and I watched a documentary on Sky yesterday, Haaland, right? His first club, FC Bern, it shows you his training session there, and he's training in a Balotelli shirt, 45 Man City Balotelli shirt. And it just makes you proud. We've took it to the next level, man. Yeah. So, Gabriel Jesus, sad to see you go. Always been remembered for Centurion goal and things like that. But
very true.
A big Norwegian guy rocking up, I don't think we're going to be too sad for long, do you?
Yeah, you know what? I think so. There's two things on that. Firstly on Jesus, not just it's sad he's going, but this summer in particular, it's just showing how good this club is run, and that we are at another turning point. And there's a few turning points you've seen this summer. Firstly, we'll talk on the Jesus and everything else. We're now at a point where we have assets, right? That when we buy assets, we think Vincent Kompany spoke on this on a show I watched, where he said, when you join Manchester City, that club will do everything for you. They will give you everything you need to be happy, and they will give you respect. And that is it. And everyone knows that. Everyone's happy and everyone knows that. If you're not performing at a certain level, it's not disrespect, but it's your time to move on.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that. I feel like, and because of that, when we buy players, predominantly we're thinking we're going to keep them for 8 to 10 years. And you know what? If they serve us for 8 to 10 years, they can go on a free. We're now getting to a point with Sterling and Jesus where it's like we're actually being offered money for them, and good money, with a year left on their contract. So we've gone into those negotiations where it's like, listen, we'll keep them for a year. Absolutely no problem. But if you want them, and the same with Ake as well, actually, all these people that are coming for our players, we're there going, well, we don't need to sell them, because, you know, we've still got money from the Kane thing we didn't spend last year. Ferran Torres, the youngers we're going, the fact we won the Premier League, the fact that all the source of income, we don't need your money. But if you're going to offer us very good money for players that we've already got replacements for, no problem whatsoever. So I think that's what we're really starting to see this summer. The other thing on the Haaland side is, we've just pulled off the type of signing that you have to be a Galactico, apparently, to pull off.
Yeah, it's the biggest signing. Biggest signing we've ever made for me. And like you say,
it has to be 100%.
Man City as a club now are in a great position with the players. We don't need to sell the players. We don't let the players dictate to us what is happening. No. We don't let the players get in a power position. They're all under contract. So if the money's not on the table, the player doesn't leave. If the player has to stay and run his contract down, then so be it. But 99 times out of 100, Man City go, look, this is the situation. If you want to go, get your agent to tell them it's that much. Get somewhere close. Let's strike an agreement. You go on your way and we'll freshen it up.
Yeah,
and it's refreshing to see, because there's other football clubs out there at the minute who you're looking at who are in absolute shit street. There's turmoil all over the camp. There's people throwing the toys out the pram. There's people... not to mention that shit over the road, but I've watched Wan-Bissaka learning how to cross this week. I've seen him running down a pitch and learn how to cross. That's a grown-ass man who they paid 60 odd million for, learn how to cross. And I've seen Alanga dribbling round cones and shooting into an empty net, and people telling you that he's ready. Now,
I've seen that.
Cones don't fucking tackle you back, Cones don't chase you or tackle you. And if you've got an empty net, you're 99 times out of 100. I know you're a United player and you're shit, but 99 times out of 100, you're probably going to score. So,
did anyone see Steve in Blackpool? If they saw
Steve in Blackpool, Alanga's got shit on me, mate. I got it through the tiny little square, man. You know what I mean? But so listen, it could be worse. You know, we could be signing £13 million fullbacks from Feyenoord, battling it out with Brentford for people with holes in their hearts and shit like that. But we're not. We're signing Erling Haaland, man. And at the end of the day, that moves me on nicely to the Yorkshire Pirlo. I want to say a big welcome to Calvin Phillips. We all knew the deal was going to be done. You know, people are talking shit about him and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, it's just jealousy. We've got a player with Premier League proven ability. We've got an England regular international. We've got a replacement on Fernandinho, who we knew last season was struggling. And, Yeah, he's going to come in. It's an upgrade from Leeds. He don't have to move house. He's coming to the best club in the country, in my opinion. And he's going to have a good battle on his hands with Rodri for the DM position. But not only that, he adds a lot to our game. Last season, we were wheeling out Rodri for 5 or 6, 7 games on the bounce where the kid wasn't getting a break. And at the end of the season, whether you like it or not, we were struggling and we were limping. I think with Calvin Phillips in the team and the 5 substitution rule coming up, I think that allows Man City to rotate a lot. And in a lot of our games, when we're 2-3 up and we're cruising, we can take Rodri out for a breather and we can bring Calvin in. And he just gives us that little bit of energy, that little bit of aggression. And I think he's a great signing for great money.
Yeah. You know what? Rodri's played in 3 seasons. He's played nearly 200 games. I don't know exactly what it was. I was trying to get it up really quickly, but I remember maybe halfway through last season, he was at round about 170, I think, games in 3 seasons. And you're spot on. Often when I talk about Liverpool, I say that I don't really care. We'll win the league anyway. But I think this season, Liverpool might get some muscular injuries because of the amount of games they played last season. And maybe, we don't want that to happen to Rodri. We don't, for starters. So it's great that we've got another option. The other thing I think is, one thing I'm finding this summer in particular, with doing loads of shows with other fans and kind of on the Instagram, in the comments, and listening and taking on board what other people say, is it can change my opinion, which is fine, because I was a bit weary on Calvin Phillips, only because I was worried that he might be a squad player, and that sometimes squad players come for the wrong reasons, like Rodwell kind of type things, and it doesn't work out. But then the more I kind of spoke to people and kind of saw what was going on, I thought, no. Pep scouted this guy for quite some time. Pep's been an admirer of him for quite some time. We are changing. That's the thing. And I think what is really good this summer is we're bringing in players that are giving Pep new tools. So he has different ways to play. It's not the same, because sometimes when people play the low block, it can be a bit frustrating. Things are changing. It's almost like with Haaland, he loves a ball over the top to run onto, and Phillips can really play a ball over the top.
This comment here, sorry, Pepper's got to take the side-to-side thing out of him. That's a fair point, because I watched Calvin a lot for England. I went to a few of the games, and yeah, he does do a lot of side-to-side movement. But Rodri was exactly the same when he first came at Man City, because he didn't want to make a mistake. So as soon as the ball got played into him, his first initial reaction was, someone's up my ass, I'm going to lay it back or put it to the side.
Absolutely.
What you now see with Rodri is he gets the ball, his first thought is turn and face and see where the options are. And you might see Phillips in the first few games, while he gets used to it, be a bit safe, lay it off to the side. Jack Grealish admitted this season that in his first part of the season, he was playing it safe a lot. He wasn't taking any risks. So, you're probably going to get that. But in his position, the most important thing for Calvin Phillips is to get on that ball and turn. If you don't turn, 100%, you're no good to us, because you're just always going to be playing it safe. And Man City are not a safe team. We're expansive. We need you to get the ball quick, turn under pressure, be confident to play it out. And what you were just touching on there, if you watch him, he can play that ball. The ball Erling Haaland likes, the one that opens up the whole team down the middle, right onto Erling Haaland, bang. So City have done the homework on him. He's not a panic signing. We don't make panic signings. You know what I mean? He's not a Jack Rodwell or a Scott Sinclair or Javi Garcia.
That was old school.
It was different.
I think
different.
Do you know, and something on that as well, Steve, that I think is really important to talk on is that role, right? A lot of other clubs need a midfielder like that at the moment, right? A lot of Premier League clubs need a player like that at the moment. And from the beginning of this, look, we saw him wave goodbye to the Leeds fans the last home game. From that point, I haven't seen him be linked to any other club, right? Which tells me it was already nailed on.
He said today, if you listen to the interview.
No, I haven't yet. I heard he speaks well.
Tixie rang him personally and said, look, we want you at Manchester City. Pep wants you. And he went on holiday and he said, look, I just left it. But I was like, he just knew he wanted him. Bielsa is his hero. Bielsa changed the way he looks at football. Pep Guardiola will change the way he looks at football again. And I think he's a young kid with that mentality where He's very, very humble. I've seen videos of him with his nana and his gran, and he's a family-oriented. I've actually spoke to his brother today. His brother followed me on Instagram, and I sent him a message wishing him and the family all the best at Manchester City, and he sent me a nice reply back. So that's nice. It just shows you that the family are all involved. And the Leeds fans I've spoke to, and all loads of them, they love the guy. He hates Man United. You know, it's a signing made in heaven. And listen, I wish him all the best. And I think, you know, it's good to see a player progress, you know, get a move from Leeds, just about stayed up to the champions of England again. And play under Guardiola.
Do you think also as well, there's a little thing of we've got a couple of Yorkshire boys already. And it's another Yorkshire lad coming in.
Going there, with Stonesy and Walker and that.
And I think this doesn't get spoken enough, but we used to be very Argentinian and Spanish. Yeah. And then under Pep, you've seen it switch to Portuguese and Brazilian. And no, Portuguese, Brazilian, with a Brazilian captain, and then with the English contingent. And I think there is a relevance to it, you know, that you've got. So, yeah, I think that could be something. I'm interested to see how it goes. The more I see what is going on at the moment, with all the signings we're making, all I can see is another 10 years of domination. And this is
a good one. This is a good one from Bertiful South. Stephen Daps, you're going to give Haaland and Phillips seasons of bed in before you judge. I always give people a season before I judge. I never judge. I don't want to ever have to come on a stream. I don't think I ever have, and talk bad about one of my players. I've never had. That's not the stream. I'm not the man for that. No. If you want that kind of shit, then go and support Arsenal. I think the Man City YouTube scene is with clean-hearted, good, 100%. Honest blues. And yeah, we can criticise players, and people are entitled to their opinion. But when it starts becoming a bit, you know, toxic and that, it's not for me. And I think Grealish for 100 million had a lot of pressure. He came in, and towards the end of the season, I thought Jack did well, and I thought he started to play without the shackles on him. I think the fee was weighing on him a bit. I think he was overthinking it. But I think this season now, with Haaland coming in, the pressure's gone off Jack. Jack Grealish now enjoys football, and I think people are going to get a shock. I think Jack Grealish this season is going to shock a lot of people. And I tell you what, it'll be the typical Man City way. Cancelo was the same. Mahrez was the same. Leroy was the same. David Silva was the same. Started off a bit slow. Next season after, hit the ground running. I tell you what, Jack Grealish this season.
Yeah, I think so. Same. And on top of that, there's also the added fact that he's now tasted silverware, which is massive.
Here's another one. It's a quick one here. If this one. Stevie's Cowan worth 45 for a backup, or should sign someone for cheap? No, to be honest, that is cheap. In the modern day market, it's cheap. You've got Richarlison going for 60 odd million. Do you know, you've got Tuchemeni going for 100 million. They're talking about Declan Rice for 150 million.
His partner, 150.
At the end of the day, it's a deal. It's a deal and a half. It's good. Leeds haven't tried to pull the wool over our eyes and drag it out, because I think City would have walked away. They've realised, you know, we can get some decent money, quick money. They can strengthen their team, which they seem to be doing. And I think it'll work out in the end. Only time will tell. But we just got to keep going and back him. And you know, it's good to see the interview and everything he's done. But yeah, so I think he's a great signing, Daps. I don't know about you, but I think
I do. Like I said, my only let me be clear. My only concern wasn't Calvin's fault, right, at all. It's just how damn good Rodri is in that position, right? And kind of the only way I'd look at it is who can actually come to Manchester City with Rodri playing in a Pep style of football and think, yeah, I'm gonna challenge him, right? Now, I don't know Calvin, so for me to make that judgment is not fair. That's a me issue, and it says just how good Rodri is. But then the minute I start looking at the fact that we are going to change the way we play football, the fact that we do need to rest Rodri, it makes perfect sense, because we've brought in someone that knows the Premier League, that wants to be with us, seems humble and like he wants to learn, and will suit a different style of football.
You know what, though, Daps, as well? The guy's got no pressure, because he's not been bought to replace Rodri, and he's not been bought to even challenge Rodri. People are already calling him a backup player. So he's got the greatest job on earth. He signed for Manchester City as a backup player, and he can go out there and prove to the world that he'll get in that team as number one. So what an incentive.
Yeah.
He's not got the pressure. He's not like Haaland. Haaland, pressure on Haaland is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's joined Manchester City now. They're talking about the Bundesliga like, oh, it's nothing. This is the time he's got to prove it. That kid has got to start scoring goals.
Yeah.
He cannot hide. He cannot get pulled out the team and rest. He's going to be number one, and he's got to score goals. Where Calvin 100%. Phillips can do his business, get on with it, let Rodri take the flak. But when Rodri is injured or needs a break, he's got to step up to the plate and make sure he does his job.
Yeah. I think the other thing is that one or two people have said that is a fair point, that it does. Now, I don't think we'll regularly play Rodri and Calvin Phillips together. I don't think it's something Pep will do. It doesn't really seem like a Pep move. But do you know what? There could be some Champions League games that he might go.
He could do that in the Champions League, yeah. He could do
Real
that.
Madrid away. Real Madrid away. Do you know what? Play Calvin as well. Let's just settle that little bit more. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. Look, we came into this transfer window knowing that Fernandinho needed to be replaced, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we could have gone and bought a like for like Rodri, but what's the point? Because if they then don't start, it's pointless. We've gone and bought a different style of that role. So in games where Rodri starts and we just need to shut things down, bring on Calvin Phillips and Rodri go off. So
yeah, last season, right? We got into a battle in Madrid. We were there. We brought on Fernandinho, and he got us over the line just by being experienced, by being aggressive, right? We played Real Madrid. We was also there in the last few minutes. You need to hold the ball, keep the ball. We win the game in the Champions League final. I believe if you bring Calvin Phillips on with Rodri in that game near the end, them two in there can boss it. Tactical fouls that we used to get a lot of with Fernandinho. And I think Pep realised last year that A, squad was light, and B, we was relying on a 37-year-old player whose legs had gone to get us over the line. And thank God we got over the line in the Premier League. And I think he's not going to make that mistake. And I think last year, coming back from Atletico Madrid, we sacrificed the semi-final against Liverpool by playing a weakened team because the Champions League was more important. But I think if you've got players like Cucurella coming in, you've got players like Phillips coming in, they're decent quality players that can come in and do a job and allow you to play on all four fronts for trophies. And I think that's what we'll do this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. This is the thing. Every summer, I'm a little bit negative. A little bit, I don't want to say negative, but nervous. Always nervous. This is the first summer where I'm coming into it, and this was before the transfer window, to be honest, that seeing our team do it for the second time on the last day of the season kind of changed me forever. It's like, do you know what? I'm almost getting over it. And we always speak about this. We're getting over that City side, that City mentality that, we'll always mess it up. And it's like that last day of the season, I really saw it that, you know what? And there was elder guys around me telling me, don't worry. And it's like, I now believe it going into this season. And then we've gone and had a sensational transfer window. I'm going into this season saying we can do big things. And when I say that, we've retained twice. You know what? Let's try and retain 3 times. Then we've done the same as them lot. Let's try and win the Carabao and the FA again. Let's get them back. And you know what? Let's try and win the Champions League. And I feel like we're pretty much getting all the tools. We keep Bernardo Silva.
We're speaking about. I want to just touch on the goalkeeper because I think the goalkeeper's been a good signing and who's gone under the radar and no one really speaks about him. I know he's not exciting, a backup goalkeeper, but looking at the guy, he does look a decent goalkeeper. And listening to the Bundesliga people talk about him for a free transfer, it's a great move. Is he going to finally, do you think, put pressure on Ederson? Because no disrespect to the keepers we've got, I think Ederson knows he's number one. And always will be. This kid looks a little bit different. Do you think? I know there was this big thing pre-season about Ederson getting grief, which I was totally against. I just think, for what we need. But it'd be interesting to see how this goalkeeper plays. And it'd be interesting to see if he is like Ederson with his feet. That's what I want to see. I want to see what this kid he's going to play in these preseason games. I want to see what he's like. But yeah, don't know too much about him. But I've seen the highlight reels on YouTube. They make him look fantastic. But it'd be interesting because Stefan looks like to me that semi-final mistake has cost him his career at City. I think they're realising now he can't come back from that. So it'd be interesting to see what this kid is like. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be honest with Zach Steffen. I've seen this in him a lot. As in the semi-final, I saw that in him a lot. I feel we got away with it because generally we played him in the Carabao Cup against lesser teams. So although, yes, we looked less press resistant and we looked ultimately similar to we did the first season under Pep when we had Bravo first season, Zabaleta, Clichy, and we didn't really know how to play out from the back. And all of it was kind of because I felt like the defenders were a bit weary of Zach Steffen's comfort on the ball. And so we're dropping a little bit deeper and it was just putting everything out. But because we were playing lesser teams, we were getting away with it. And then, like you say, when you play a team like Liverpool and Liverpool are playing a strong team, we're playing a slightly weaker team, it just didn't look great. I believe we're loaning him out for him to get game time to try and cement his World Cup place. I think that's what I've heard.
He's going to go to Middlesbrough, isn't he? I think. I don't know if he's already signed, but talking about Middlesbrough.
I haven't seen it yet, but that's what someone told me. Now on the guy coming in, I've heard that he's a good shot stopper.
This lad here from Germany, Daniel Neumann. I'm from Germany, Steve. He plays really similar to Edison. He's really good with his feet as well. So there you go.
Okay.
Well,
that right. So the one thing that I always say is because of, and Steve, we both know we're kind of, we're advocates of all City players, but we were fighting that battle against people. We had people in our DMs trying to kind of convince us that Edison wasn't the one. And luckily, I haven't had many of them message me since because I've blocked them. But with this guy and people saying, "Oh, he's a great shot stopper. Could this be the guy that pushes Edison for his position?" I've always said that as long as Pep Guardiola is our manager, Edison will be our goalkeeper because he is perfect for the way Pep and Manchester City play football. How confident he is with his feet is scary. Those balls back that other keepers maybe on your wrong foot has a bad bounce. It doesn't affect him. We saw against Mane in that game. That was a dummy, right? That was a dummy on the line to just make that extra inch of space. However, if this goalkeeper is very similar to Edison with his feet and is a very good shot stopper, it's food for thought. It is food for thought.
Yeah, big up at MCFC lads there. Edison's unbelievable, 3 golden gloves. That's all I was worried about. I was like, what? Are we that bored of a fan base that we've got nothing to moan about? We just won the league. Yeah. We're going to go in on our goalkeeper. And I was just like, man,
ridiculous.
Calm down, man. Calm down. Trust Pep Guardiola. He's obviously not gone with a shot stopper for the reasons we've talked about. I don't want to dwell too much on Edison and the goalies. I just wanted to mention Ortega out of respect. I don't know much about him. People have said he's going to be play with his feet. People have said he's a good shot stopper. Be interesting to see. And then the next issue I want to talk about is Raheem Sterling. Obviously, it's caused a lot of divide. A lot of City fans are saying, don't let him go. A lot of City fans are saying, let him go if you can find a replacement. Me, personally, I'm just saying, trust the manager. If we get good money for Raheem, then get it. If he wants to leave, then let him leave. I personally feel that in the last 10, 15 games for City, his body language was a little bit different. He didn't seem to be really... I don't know. I don't think he's ever had the connection with the fans. I don't know. But he's been a great player. He's always done his job. He's scored goals. He's improved. He's won titles. So I can't slag him off from a player point of view. But
absolutely not.
If he wants to leave and he feels like he wants to go back to London, I'm all for it. Me and Lewis on City Extra just had a debate about it. Lewis is a big believer in getting somebody in with pace to replace him. I'm a big believer in, I think Pep's going to play different. I don't think we're going to play with a pacey winger. I don't think we're going to get down the line and spam crosses in. I think most of Haaland's goals, if you watch him, come from that deep line ball in midfield, which Kevin De Bruyne's going to play. And I just said, look, I would play Foden on the left, Haaland up front. I would play Mahrez on the right, and I would play in centre midfield. I'd play De Bruyne, Grealish, and have Rodri holding. And I'd have Foden, De Bruyne, Grealish, Mahrez, all trying to unlock that defence for Haaland to make the runs. I won't be getting down the byline and crossing it. No point. I'd be playing it around the edge of that box, and they wouldn't have a touch of the ball for me. That's my opinion.
So with the Sterling thing, again, you're spot on with his body language towards the end of the season. I've looked at his numbers, and because I've had to have this conversation so many times and quite a few times with Chelsea fans, and I kind of, there's three people: there's Sterling, there's Chelsea, there's City. This sale of Sterling makes sense for me personally to only one person, that's Manchester City, because we're getting good money for a player. And let's be clear, tell me any other season where you're talking about a player with 1 year left on their contract, 50, 55, 60 million. The transfer window is not usually like that. But because Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United, Newcastle, everyone needs these type of players. We're being offered good money for it. So to City, it makes sense that if a guy with 1 year left on his contract, we can get that money and get 300 grand off our wage bill. It makes perfect sense. His numbers, the last 2 years, so I've looked at his numbers since he's been here under Pep, goals and assists, and I did it per 90. So it's not based, although generally he plays between 45 and 55 games a season, but his numbers are very clear. The last 2 seasons are his worst numbers when he's not playing alongside a number 9, right? Now, if he goes to Chelsea, I don't know how they're going to use him because they ain't got a number 9 right now. So that confuses me. Secondly, he's doing the right thing from a man's point of view, right? He's on 300 grand a week, and this is last year's contract. So he's gone and had a look at what's out there. That's what he's doing right now. And I keep saying, listen, he's not going to go anywhere unless Chelsea play him more than 300 grand a week. He will see out his contract, play alongside Haaland, potentially get his numbers higher again, and then maybe get offered more money. But you know what, Steve? We don't really care, do we? Because that's him. And for me, I then started looking at, and when people were talking about replacements and what we need as a replacement, and I've heard the arguments and I kind of get it, but if you go back to when we had Aguero, Sane, and Mendy, right? And Mendy had started looking quite good. Sane was also looking good, but Pep would never play Sane and Mendy together. Never. Because they're both held the width too much. And that is when we used to play Aguero and Jesus together. We're bringing in Cucurella. I know it's not done yet, but it is going to happen. I have every faith it's going to happen. I think he wants the City move so much. We're then going to be playing at last with a natural left-sided defender. I don't think we're going to need a wide left player because I think Cucurella is going to get forward. The other type of goal that Haaland is good at is a near post goal. Because he's got that extra yard, he can be a yard or two behind a player and he can end up getting in front of them. And I think that could be something. I'm not saying it's going to be all the time, but Cucurella playing down the left, all of a sudden we don't need a left winger. But then we have to remember we do have Foden, we do have Grealish. So, and on the right, we do have Mahrez, we do have Alvarez who can play on that side.
Bernardo can play.
Bernardo and De Bruyne even used to play out there, Steve. And
like I said, this comment, no Bernardo, Steve. I just said that team by an example, but Bernardo could go out on the right for me. And if you've got Bernardo on the right, Foden on the left, Grealish, De Bruyne across there, it's frightening, man, the options we've got. I just think Pep Guardiola's going to tweak it up a little bit this season. I just think he's not going to, I think he's going to slow it down. If you're asking me, do we need pace? Of course we need pace somewhere. If we play Liverpool, you used to play Sterling because Liverpool get forward well with Trent and Roberts. But if we've got Sterling with pace there, obviously then Trent or Roberts is thinking, hold on a minute, I can't go too far forward here. If I get caught out, Raheem Sterling's going to roast me. I understand that. But I think Pep Guardiola is going a little bit back to his Barca days. I think it's all going to be about keeping the ball, technical players, and it's all going to be about Haaland making them runs. And like you say, if you look at Haaland's goals, the Bundesliga goals he scored, right, there's not a great deal of headers because they didn't play like that. Jadon Sancho on all of his, well, a lot of his goals, he's breaking from midfield. Haaland's basically pointing, put that ball there. They put the ball in front of him, which Kevin De Bruyne does with his eyes shut, and then he runs onto it. Half the time he don't take a touch. He just hits it first time, bang, it's in. So I think we're going down that road. So
I do.
Raheem Sterling, another one, great player,
The other thing, Steve, I think that we're doing this summer, and I touched on it before, is about getting ready for another 10 years of domination. There's something that next summer Gundogan goes, right? He's going to go. We know that he's got a year left. I don't think he'll extend. I think he might have even said, "I've got a year left at this club." My thoughts on Bernardo Silva personally is that I think we're going to convince. This is not like any of the other times that Barcelona have come in for a player, because we didn't really, Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia, Ibrahim, we didn't care about whether they stayed or not. It was like, Bernardo Silva, we care, not just us. Pep cares. He's already said, look, good luck getting him. It's not just going to, it's going to be some serious conversations with him. I think, and again, it's just a gut feeling, I think we're going to convince him to stay one more season. I think Pep will say, look,
do you know what
I
I just said on? Do you know what I just said on City Extra? I just said if he wants to leave and there's no animosity between Man City and Bernardo. He's great for us. But if he turned around and said, right, I want to leave, I fancy a bit of chilling out in Barcelona, I want to try something different, I'm for one, and I don't think City's the one that's going to hold a player back, against his wishes. I would actually take.
Hold on,
Frankie
let me
de
see.
Jong.
That's what I said, bro. And how much money did you say that?
I would take Frankie de Jong and money for him. I would.
I said Frankie de Jong and 30 million because it would be a double.
I would take it because Frankie de Jong, I think, it would be brilliant for us. But I don't want to think about that scenario. I'm saying it. The worst case scenario, if Bernardo Silva went in Pep's office and said, "Please let me go to Barcelona," and Man City had an option, and Barca's got no dough, because to be fair, we're getting dough for other players. If they said Frankie de Jong and cash, because if you sell Bernardo Silva to Barcelona for 80 million, they'll pay you in 20 years, because the way they're paying the bills is fucking shite. It's like Wonga loans and all that. We're not into that anymore with the big dogs. We want dough up front, or we want Frankie de Jong. End of story. So in that situation, I get it. But me personally, I think Bernardo is not going to throw the toys out the pram. I think he's going to stay for another year. And I think next season, next summer, we're going to have a Gundogan and Bernardo problem. Yeah.
And this is the thing. And the other thing, and that is exactly what I was going to come on to. I think we can, and you're spot on. I said this about the Frankie de Jong. If they offer Frankie de Jong and money, it's kind of a double whammy, because firstly, Frankie de Jong can kind of play that role. Secondly, it's great that they've spent their whole summer trying to get him. And if we just swooped in, and I kind of am thinking, do you know what? Is this why that isn't over the line yet? Because they want Bernardo Silva so much that they're thinking, is this something we could throw in there? But we have to get ready for the fact Bernardo Silva and Gundogan go next season. So I do think we'll try and buy a replacement, probably Bellingham or something like that. But I think also this is a season where Grealish and Foden, Pep needs to make a decision. And he's probably thinking about it. We started it last summer with Foden, trying to think, right, one of these two guys, I need to start really trying to push that little bit deeper. Just ready for if Bernardo and Gundogan both go next summer, that we've got someone that can.
I think Grealish was bought because he thought Bernardo was going. And I think this season you're going to see, you might see Jack Grealish in the middle more, and you might see Bernardo out wide more. That's why we're not going to go and for another player. And that's just my opinion. But the transfer window at the minute, Alvarez is a fantastic talent. The Cucurella deal, I believe, is going to be done. People just panic. I've never seen as many City fans messaging me. I know a lot of them are kids.
Yeah.
When are they going to do this? When are they going to announce this? When are they going to announce Haaland this? When are they going to? I know you're excited, but calm the fuck down, man. It's not like back in the day when we were signing Martin Buster Phillips or Tony Scully or, Sean Goater and all them boys. That was real excitement, people. You need to calm down. Do you know what I mean? But no, it is what it is. Yeah, listen, big up Saeed in the chat. I hope it's a real Saeed. Let's hit the like button, people. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm supposed to be retired. I'm come back like Paul Scholes. I'm back here. You know what I mean? I'm giving you the content with Daps. We're giving out our time. At least hit the like button. There's 340 people in here. Hit the like button. It gets the algorithm going.
Yeah.
You're very privileged. You're getting one show a week from me at the minute. I promise I'm going to try and do more. I'm looking forward to doing this City content. I jumped on tonight because there's a lot happening. anyone that was asking the Haaland announcement thing on Sunday, 1 p.m. at the Etihad, I'm going to be there. And let me tell you, if Manchester City don't have thousands of people outside that stadium to welcome Haaland, every other fan base and every other media outlet in the world is going to be on our case saying you fucking signed Haaland and you didn't have anyone there. So all I'm going to say to the City fans out there, if you're in Manchester on Sunday, or if your missus is saying she wants to go shopping, if the kids are saying they want to go to the park, politely tell them to fuck off, because you go into the Etihad, yeah, and you're going to welcome Erling Haaland. I want to see Norwegian flags. I want to see pyro. Even if your grandma, if she's got naught to do and she sat at home watching Emmerdale, get your grandma, get her in the car, wheel her down to the Etihad, whatever you can. Even your neighbour, if he's never been to it, get him down there. We're all having it. We all want to be there for Erling Haaland and show him that he signed for the proper Mancunian club. No excuses. 1 o'clock. Etihad Stadium, Sunday, your mum, your dad, your gran, even bring the dog, get everybody there and let's have it, innit?
Bring some Vindaloo if you want as well.
We've got to do it, man. We've got to do it. I'm fucking about, man. All these people on Twitter going, look how many City fans are there. It's like, hold on, mate. You're a City fan, get there, get on the bus. I'm going to be there. If anyone wants a lift, message me. I'll pick you up. So I'm going to be there. If you see me, come and say hello. You know what I'm saying? Get your Norwegian flags off Amazon Prime, 1-day delivery, and let's have it on Sunday. Why not?
This is what we've all wanted. We've been asking for Haaland. We've got him. I presume he's going to be flying out to America, right? They're going to take him, aren't they?
Yeah, the whole team will be there and that. I don't know what City are doing Sunday. Apparently it's out West Reception. I think that's where Grealish was announced. First come, first serve. Now, for me, they'd be better off doing it at the Academy Stadium or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Get in there and just whatever. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Beautiful South. Steve, can you pick me up from London? Nah, mate. But if you get the train to Piccadilly, I'll pick you up from there. I'll even buy you a pie. I'll buy you a pie. How's that? You know what I mean? I'm like that. But I want to see as many Blues down there Sunday. You've got a week. Get prepared. Get down there. Welcome. The Grealish one was good. You know what I mean? Get down there. Let's welcome Erling Haaland. He's a City fan. He's chose us over all the clubs in the world. Let's get down there and have a good day. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like you say, let's enjoy it. But, it is what it is. Even if 100,000 turned up, they're still moaning at 110,000.
Oh, yeah. So Steve, some of the stuff I was hearing about the trophy parade was just hilarious. I heard that you stretched. The roads. You stretched used cameras to make it look longer. I'm like, no, it's Deansgate. It's a long road, mate. If you know Deansgate, you know it's long.
It's good to be fair. City didn't do the best thing in the world announcing that parade. But listen, people turned out. It was good. I took the kids down there. We had a great time. But at the end of the day, Charlie, Oldham, no problem, mate. I'll pick you up at Broadway on the roundabout. But yeah, it's
don't break the law, Steve. Don't break the law.
I know, yeah. It's good, man. I'm looking forward to it. I think Haaland's shirt will be number 9. I think that'll get announced. And look, if you look at our window, we've got Alvarez in, Phillips in, Ortega in, and Haaland in. What are you rating the window out of 10?
Oh, the window's sensational. And not just that, it's the other business as well. It's the key one we haven't spoke on yet. And the other thing that's changed is the way we're handling the youngers now. That we're kind of... It's kind of the under 23s or the Premier League B, I believe is it Premier League B? It's known as
Premier League, like the under 23s, isn't it?
The under 23s. They've been dominating that league so much, and what we've now done is our academy has been getting better and better and better and better. We're now starting to make money off it. But what we're doing is...
We'll go into that right now. Just big up for the super chat there. Nathan, me as the Arsenal fan. With Jesus, you're beating us 5-1 instead of 5-0 this season. So big up for that, mate. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. But no, you're right. With the academy, people don't realise, right? People get stick about Man City, or you buy players and you do this and you do that. The academy is churning out loads of players now, and then players are getting... We won every single Premier League last season, all the way up through every category, and it get to a point now the under 23s are beating people 13-14-0. So there's no point in that them players playing in that league. They're not gaining out for us. They're not gaining anything. So they get to the point, City are now looking at it and going, you know what? There's new rules coming in about the loans, how many loans you can have out to stop like Chelsea having 150 loans. City were the same. So now we're selling these players. We're getting a buyback option and a sell-on clause. You've got Gavin Bazunu, who's Ireland's #1 keeper, never kicked a ball for us, 16 million. You've got Samadoza, bought from Millwall, 500k, played a couple of bits here and there, friendlies, 10 million. You've got Darko Giabe, who's gone to Leeds, 5 million. I believe that's cheap, but he's part of the Phillips deal. You've got Romeo Lavia, 14 million to Southampton. Unbelievable. You've got Ko Itakura, the Japanese centre-back, never played a game for Man City, just sold him for 5 million. You know, so all these players are being recycled and pushed out for big money. So Man City now are going to become that club where we're going to spend money on these super players, but we're bringing it all back in with kids. Ajax did it for years. Ajax Academy were churning out players, and they worked out that every player that left the academy was worth about 8 million on average. So it's a money-making machine.
This is a thing. This is what, like, of course, and this is what I feel this summer, on top of the players we're buying, that I'm loving, is the way the club is evolving. That with that. And there's so much I can talk about this club and the way it's run. Little things like, does everyone know that when we set up the club, when City Football Group set up the partnership in America, the New York, what stadium do they play at? Yankee Stadium. Why? Because if you want to tap into a fan base, very clever. I believe someone told me the other day, over in India, one of the main shareholders in the club in India, from their side, is one of the biggest Bollywood stars. Again, sensational fan base. Everything we do is so good. Steve, I saw the other day you were walking up to the stadium, and I saw something being built and said, "What's that?" And you said it's a
stadium. It's a new stadium. Yeah, it's a new concert arena.
Yeah.
And Manchester City and the Co-op built it. It's about 20,000 all-seater stadium next to the ground. I reckon 100 concerts a year, all revenue coming into the club.
Right. And Steve, that was the big thing. When Tottenham got their new stadium, all everyone wanted to talk about is, and when COVID hit, it was really unfortunate for Tottenham that they weren't going to get all this income that they were going to get through concerts and through. But with us, that never gets spoke about, all the other revenue streams that we have that are bringing money in, because people don't want to say that. They'd rather say, oh, it's just our owners, our sugar daddies throwing money in. No. We're becoming self-sufficient as a football club, which I don't know if you saw the show with Grizz the other day, but that was ultimately what it was about. He was I was saying that, look, yes, we had to have investment to catch up with you. That doesn't mean you're being run smarter than us. We just had to pay catch up because we were Cafe and you were McDonald's. So we had to invest. But now we're not just becoming, look, that net spend trophy they always get, we're coming for it. The key is the buyback clauses and the sell-on clauses. They are the two that I'm so happy we're putting in there, that they could still come back.
If you think about it, right, the City Football Group are owning clubs all around the world. So you've got India, you've got China, you've got Spain, you've got Japan, you've got Italy, you've got Holland, so you've got France, right? But what that brings in from a business point of view is we can offer potential sponsors and investors in Manchester City, we can offer them a route into every single football market on every single continent. So these people that say the Etihad deal is too much.
Thank you, Bo.
I'm sorry, it's not too much, because I'll tell you why. Because Etihad have become Manchester City's main sponsors, but they also sponsor the training ground in Melbourne, the training ground in New York. They've also on shirts in here, there, everywhere. So for Etihad Airways, their link to all these markets across the world are linked to one deal. And that's what people don't understand. And if you look at the Manchester City model, we're also now buying players. Savinho, who was linked to Man City, has actually been signed by Troyes, but he's owned by us because they're part of our group. So rather than Man City going out and spending the cash, Troyes have spent it. And then you've got Issa Kabor, who's been on loan at Troyes, who's now being linked to Brentford for 15, 20 million. You know, we're pushing players all around. And the City group, I'm telling you now, is the way forward, and other football teams around the world, Red Bull do it, but other football teams around the world are going to follow this suit. Yeah. But the 5 or 6 years behind, Man City have already started the ball rolling. Yeah. And like you say, people can throw stones and call Man City all they want, but the business model of Manchester City and Khaldoon and Sheikh Mansour.
Khaldoon is an absolute genius, man.
Best business model in the world, I tell you.
For me, Khaldoon, look, we all love football and we don't want to turn it into although I do quite like business as well, to be fair. For me, Khaldoon is possibly the best asset that this football club has. The guy is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And it's the crazy thing is he gets it at every level, not just the business side. He does get it at the football side as well. Big
shout out to Mo G's. Mo's a big fan of mine, and he's a big fan of all the City YouTubers. Yeah. He follows us around. He pays his money on the super chats. It all helps the channel. Big up, Mo. Steve, don't forget Jesus and Sterling. We brought, then they won and generated revenue for City for years, and now both are about to be sold for a profit. Yeah, listen, Mo, I say it all the time. Anyone that's not in a Manchester City bubble hasn't got a fucking clue about this football club. Yeah, they're all stood there reading the Daily Sport and listening to talk shite and listening to bullshit. But people that know about this club and look at the club and listen to Khaldoon and watch the channels and see where we're going, we know where we're going. And this football club is run better than any football club. And this model that they're doing with buying the clubs on the continents, building training facilities, getting the best players from around the world, putting them into different clubs, letting them learn the craft. All these clubs will be playing the Man City way. The Pep Guardiola way will soon become the Man City way. And whether you play for Girona, Troyes, whether you play for Yokohama Marinas, you'll all be playing the same way. So when a player is highlighted as maybe good enough for Manchester City, he's used to the system, he's used to the demands we play, he gets straight over to the Etihad and he's in. And this is what's going to happen. And it's a fantastic model. And like you say, we're so lucky to have these owners and what they're doing. And Man City Football Club now, the turnover they're making, the signing of Haaland has took them to the next level. Yeah, the only thing typical of Man City is not to release Haaland's number, because there's so many shirts out there that are playing and everyone's waiting to get the number, but they're scared to do it. You know what I mean? So hopefully on Sunday, when he's announced Haaland 9, everyone will get the shirts.
Yeah.
Steve's on a roll. Yeah, I was having a rant, man.
Steve, do you know the hardest one to not do? And I purposely try and not do it because I've seen so many other people do it. Right. And you know what? Something Soups always says to me, what it is, the best form of a compliment is, I can't remember what it is, but you know, your legendary one on Big Six where you said, best left back in the world, best right back in the world. I have to stop myself from doing it so much. But the amount of times I've heard that regurgitated now, it's like going down as gospel in the football talk when people are talking about Liverpool. But when you get on a roll, it just comes out, doesn't it?
You just got to do it. Listen, I'm a fan. You know what I mean? I come on here to talk to other fans. I get a lot of love off the City fans, and you know, people say to me, City, you should be working for Man City. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. I'm here and I'm real. I don't do any of this for any dough. I don't make any dough out of it. I come here to defend my club. I love talking about my club. If you met me in a pub, I'd be talking to you exactly the same as I am now. People meet me at the ground. I sit and talk to them for 20, 30 minutes. I'm a Man City fan. And I love this football club. And where we are now to where we have been is unbelievable. And signings of Erling Haaland does get the kid out of me. I'm excited to death. I'll be there on Sunday with my kids. My kids will have Norwegian flags. I'm going to get an Alfie Inga Haaland fucking blonde wig. And I'm having it on Sunday. I don't care because I'm buzzing. But I just hope that everybody else turns up and we all have a cracking day and welcome our new signings, innit? Alvarez, all the boys. I think it'd be good, man. I'm looking forward to it.
See, I've got a little one that wants to say hello to you as well. She thought you were coming down again.
There she is. How are you doing? Okay.
Said, are you okay?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
And where is he from?
Manchester.
Although she did say earlier, he sounds like my uncle. Well, her uncle's a Scouser, so I don't know about that.
Oh God, we don't need that.
No,
mate. The comments in the chat. Everyone loves Man City, and that. This is what we're here. I like to think this is a place where City fans can come. We can talk real. We can say how it is. Yeah, I might swear sometimes. That's me. It is what it is. I'm me, and I'm me. at the end of the day, I love this club and I love all the fans that represent it, and I'm trying to be genuine in that. And at the minute, we're having a cracking window. Will there be any more signings? I think Cucurella will get done. Will there be a surprise signing? Maybe. There seems to be a lot of activity going under the radar, a lot of people going out and sold. Don't be surprised if something good turns up late in the window that Man City are on it. So
I was trying to work out who it was I spoke with, and I wasn't sure if it was you or if it was someone else that's in the know. But I've heard that there's going to be a few more.
Well, you know,
I'm not.
You just never know.
And I can't remember who it was I was speaking with, but someone said to me that they have heard this is going to be the most active.
Look at this guy. Look at the Liverpool comment. Look at this guy.
Oh, lovely language.
Tell him to get his Carabao Cup out for the lads.
Listen, everything's fine. The meltdown is over. You know, Liverpool were 2 games away from doing the quadruple. They've sold 1 player that was aging, brought in 3 players, but apparently they were going to finish 4th. Then they signed Mo Salah signed a new deal, and now the quad next season is incoming. So
this could happen. What it is. This could happen Sunday, couldn't it? Man City announced Pep new deal.
It needs to come. It needs to come. Do
you know what I mean?
Do you know the best thing I did see is, did you see Paul Dickoff's tweet the other day where he said some massive news coming, and everyone was going off on what it was? I said to someone, I don't know, the way he's wrote that, to me it feels like it's massive news for him, not necessarily the club. They're going, no, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. Then it's come out, I think his son had signed for someone. I mean, congratulations, yeah. But the City fan base were ready for all sorts.
No, listen, people, that's been a quick hour. We've touched on everything we need to touch on. Even the Liverpool fans have stopped by and said hello. Yeah. It's always a pleasure to welcome our Scouse neighbours. You know, they're used to winning second and that. At the end of the day, you know, this is a place, it's like therapy. If they want to come on here and cry about it, we'll give them a cuddle and that. But we're looking good on the blue side of Manchester now, you know what I mean? We're looking good. Erling Haaland's in the bag. We're going to celebrate that on Sunday. And listen, people, please hit the like button. Please leave a comment. Any mods that are in the chat and you find that Scouse off, block him. And at the end of the day, Daps, where can they find you? What you up to? Tell them where to go and follow you.
Yeah, Never a Foul. It's in the title of this video. So if you just click on that, it'll take you to the YouTube channel. I'm streaming once or twice a day on there. And then you'll find me on a lot of different channels all over the place. So yeah, just follow me on Instagram, MCFC Daps, and you'll see I'm kind of active, making the most of the transfer window.
People were talking about Serge Gnabry. I'm not really going to elaborate on it. I think it's a lot of pie in the sky at the minute. There's no point in dwelling on that. People just relax. It'll be what it'll be. Tixi and Ferran and Khaldoon are doing the business. Sterling may well leave. We'll probably do another show if Sterling leaves. But at the end of the day, have a great week, people. Look after yourself. Stay positive. Keep smiling. And all the Man City fans out there, have a great week. If you support Liverpool, have a shit week. If you support Man United,
you are going to have a shit week anyway.
I've got now to say to you lot. And listen, love for the love, people. See you soon. Hit that like button.